repeat it now that we have a little background.
Well, very briefly, I lived in a small town in the south of England called Salisbury, and I wanted to get away from home like most young men do. I'd gone to London, and I'd walked the length of Regent Street, which is the main street in England, and looking for any job, and I ended up in a menswear shop, and it was the very month they were shooting The Dirty Dozen down at Pinewood with,
big cast.
Telly Savalas and a whole load of them. Anyway, Telly Savalas had come into the menswear shop that I was working in to buy 2 cashmere pullovers and a Burberry raincoat. Most Americans wanted a Burberry raincoat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he just happened to say that one of the stuntmen on The Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin was wonderful in that movie, one of the stuntmen had been injured, and the director had asked all the actors that whilst they were out of the weekend, did they know any friends that were kind of slightly big built to replace this stuntman. Telly Savalas offered me the job. And I went all the way out to Pinewood like an innocent, naive young man, got to the gates of Pinewood, said, "Hello, Mr. Telly Savalas, Kojak told me if I came to the studio I could be the stuntman in one of the scenes." And it was a scene in the men's toilet where John Cassavetes and Charles Bronson beat up the chap who was going to escape. I would have been one of the fighters.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got down, and of course the chap at the gate said, "Look, you know, if we let you in, we'd have to let everyone in." So very briefly, it was like 4 months after that that I ended up as a monster in Doctor Who, as a walk-on. And the directors and the producers liked my work ethic. I worked very hard. I studied walking on as one would being a doctor or a dentist.
Well, see, that proves a lot. I keep saying that. A few people come up and ask me. I says you have to be persistent and ready to go.
Yes.
Because you never know when that door is going to open.
No, you don't.
And that's perfect. You're a perfect example of that. Opportunity knocked and you went right in that door.
I was ready for it. Look.
That's great.
But I never dreamed I could do dialogue. I mean, I always used to think learning dialogue would be so difficult. And I had this kind of rather lacking self-confidence in those days. But it was John Pertwee, Roger Delgado, Patrick Troughton, Doctor Number 2. They gave me the confidence to get over my own fear. And that's why I'm a little kind of aggressive now with the way I think, because so many people lose their life by being a little too shy and a little too reserved. I'm not suggesting they become bold, but it's better to be just a little more strident than it is to shrink back.
But, you know, that's a great point. The other stars, you would say, were giving enough to a newcomer and helped you, you know, into where you could be. And that is, I don't know if that happens nowadays.
I think it was very, very generous.
But that really is a tribute to those gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Which a lot of them are not around anymore. But, you know, when you can get on a show like that, well, I don't have to tell you. I mean, you can feel so much better, and you can do what you want to do.
Yes. Well, they respected me, and they gave me my own way of doing things, and of course it proved to be correct. So I thank them all to this day. Every time I pray to God, I thank Barry, Douglas, and all the men that allowed me to be here today.
Well, it shows. I mean, I really think that's why Doctor Who holds up, is it shows, because it shows like an ensemble piece.
Yes.
You know, it's not your latest, you know, Tom Cruise film starring Tom Cruise only, you know, and he forgets about everybody else. But, you know, I think that's why Doctor Who holds up. And I think it's the writing and a lot of things. But, you know, we can keep going on this, but I want to get to the next roll-in, and I think you and Jennifer are probably going to enjoy this, because I went into my archives back in the day when we worked together on some local science fiction events, and had a wonderful time together, and it's been a few years. So I was able to get a clip on Sci-Fi Buzz, which was a show a while back where you were interviewed.
Oh my goodness!
So I think it's more than about 5 or 6 years ago. And then right after that, we have a slideshow of some stills that I shot at the few I have from Gallifrey, and we'll enjoy that. I might bring back a few more memories, and you know, during the slideshow, if something comes to mind, you know, go right ahead and sort of give us a little background. I'll try to do the same, because the slideshow doesn't have any music behind it, but the first video piece, I think we'll just let it roll on its own, because it has its own sound.
Very happy to watch.
So if the control room's ready and they can do that, that'd be really helpful.
I'm with John Levene now here at the Dr. Who convention, and fill me out on your background. I guess I messed up your name already, right?
Well, I'm now John Anthony Blake, which I changed my name 8 years ago, but we'll go into that some other time.
Good.
I was just one of those lucky actors that I was just a working actor in Britain, and suddenly the director, Douglas Camfield, who had done all the most prestigious Doctor Who's, he needed a secret agent guy in one of the episodes, and he'd seen me as an extra, and But lo and behold, I ended up as Secret Agent Benton.
But you got the look. You got the voice.
Well, yes. But in those days, remember back in the 70s, everything was fresh and new. There was no competition apart from Star Trek, and we were far better than Star Trek. And
everybody was watching, right?
Everybody was, indeed. And then it spread across the world. And the one thing Sylvester and Sophie and all I love is we go across the world as emissaries for the show. That's why this Philip Segal thing, it's so wonderful that somebody's picked it up, because, you know, he's back and it is about time.
Yeah. Tell me about what it was like. How many viewers would watch at a time?
Well, considering England only has about 30, 40 million people, we had between 18 and 20 million back in the 70s, when TV was much what you call more real and more new.
Right.
And it had real energy, because BBC, even though it was a public sort of broadcasting thing, they were the most original station almost in the world. And so that's how Doctor Who, it just built and built and built, and then of course they did the metamorphosis between the Doctors. And as a character like myself and Nicholas Courtney, to regenerate, if you like, with the new Doctors, was the phenomenal part of our time in Doctor Who. That's why it excites me. It excites me now, and I'm middle-aged. No, I'm not middle-aged. I mean, I'm... No.
Yeah, right. It's okay to get excited. I'm so excited, and I want to learn more. Well, we got to end the show here, but this has been so much fun. Go out and learn as much as you can about Doctor Who, and I'm going to do that right now with you, okay?
God bless
See you next week, everybody.
Goodbye.
So anyway, what was the...
Well, I guess the mics are up now, so we're going to go to the slideshow. And here's some of the slides that we shot, or had people shoot of us.
There's John Pertwee.
There's John there, and the two Johns, I guess we could say, in my TARDIS console that I built, that I still have.
Of course, this brings back memories insofar as look how long this show has been beloved by America.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun doing those events.
Yes, so that's the the Cyberman. Look, my first monster.
Yes.
I think I was a Cyberman before I was a Yeti.
Oh, that was one of the walk-ons?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I was the lead Yeti in Invasion. I mean, in Web of Fear. And Anthony Ainley, of course. Yes. I ended up being a very close friend to Tony. He helped me through my dreadful divorce. And he died, and we were going on a train from Scotland to England. We passed where he was dying on the very day he died.
Oh, no.
And I didn't find out till the next day.
Oh.
Broke my heart.
Yeah, that's all.
Time Medalers, of course, of Gallifrey, which very successful Doctor Who convention.
There's a group that's still around.
Oh, there's me, my Hawaiian shirt.
This is
with Linda singing.
Yeah, this is the Philip singing. You guys worked so hard on that.
You know, I insured my singing voice for £20,000, and I had a damn good time on the money. Oh, I remember that one, Tony. Always has a tie and shirt on. So terrible.
That's when we went to Archon.
Oh my goodness. Is that Jenny?
New
Oh my
Mexico.
goodness, that's
You better
beautiful.
be me. You have her arms around her.
And myself as the Brigadier. This is my little prop panel that I did. How to make movie props on the cheap. And I had my prop collection out. And this is another little thing I did. It was science fiction in Hollywood squares, and I was portraying.
Oh, really?
I was portraying a Connery character from Outland.
Oh, from Outland, which I loved.
Yeah. And here's some more baddies from Doctor Who. Sontarans, I guess.
Yes, they are indeed. I never worked with them. Of course, I always liked the monsters that were half human, half monster, because it reminded me of the mother-in-law. Oh, that was wonderful.
So, yeah, what did you think of that? That's a little bit of a blast of the past.
A visit from the past. Beautiful.
Yeah, you see, that little bit there on Sci-Fi Buzz, you did a wonderful, wonderful piece then. So, yeah, it was fun working those events. Like I said, I wish I could get more involved in that kind of stuff. I just don't have the time now anymore.
Well, we've done it once, Tony, and
that's true.
Maybe going back isn't a good thing.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. And it eats a whole weekend.
Oh, it does.
Yes, it doesn't. Too important. But, getting back to you as a couple, how did you meet?
I think I'll let Jenny tell you that story.
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
We actually met at a Doctor Who convention. I was a fan of the show, but not John's era, because they didn't show his era in my town. So somebody managed to get just one episode, and I thought, oh, is that who he is? Yeah, I wasn't too, it didn't matter too much to me. And we went up there, and it was just love at first sight. I was waiting in line in the autograph queue, and John looked up, and he was just looking at me, and he didn't speak, and I just thought, why is he staring at me? And then I got interested, and I decided to see one of his panels, and I liked what he said.
Well, he's a very engaging guy. I know that. I mean,